I'm so used to being at home. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Carson City Council Housing Authority Successor Agency meeting. Today is the 7th of December. Can you hear me? Hey, Richard, how are you? Is it ready? I need to repeat. Oh, now you can hear me. Okay. Richard, Sharon, meeting is being called to order. Good evening, everyone. I'm calling to order the City of Carson Housing Authority Successor Agency and City Council agenda meeting. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of December. Public information. The public may address the members of the City Council on any matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council or any item on the agenda of the Carson City Council during the designated public comment session. All staff members and public will be required to wear a mask. As we know, members of the public who do not have proof of full vaccination or COVID-19 test within 3 days of the City Council meeting, North Shore Labs can provide. The hours on regular City Council meeting days are from 10:30 a.m. to 8. To facilitate public viewing, our City Council meetings will be available to you live streamed on the city's website. The city will be streamed live over the internet, Carson Cable 36 and Spectrum Channel 99, YouTube. Madam City Clerk, could you call roll, please?
Present.
Councilmember Halton.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Deere. Mayor Davis Holmes.
Present. Is Senator Steve Bradford in the house? Not yet. Tonight, because we're on a tight schedule, I'm going to reduce the oral comment sections to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be allowed to speak 2 minutes. I'm trying to wait for Steve Bradford. Okay. Councilman Hicks, could you have a flag salute, please?
Everyone, please stand. Face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now have an invocation by Bishop Nelson, First Lutheran Church of Carson.
Good evening, Mayor and council people. Oh, good evening.
Good evening.
We gather today on the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. President Roosevelt said that this would be a day that would live in infamy, and it certainly has been that for 80 years. Almost 4,000 people were killed in that initial bombing or wounded, but it was only the beginning of a great slaughter of humanity all over the world. Statistics tell us that 50 million civilians and military people were killed during the war, and another 19 to 28 million died because of disease or famine related to the war. We are gathered certainly as people who are committed to a way of peace. This morning, the presiding bishop of my church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, Elizabeth Eaton, wrote in part, quote, "We are called to promote a different way, not of warmongering, fear, or racism, but a way of justice, of equity, of healing, and recovery." Let us pray. Lord God of grace and power, stretch forth your almighty arm to strengthen and protect all those who serve this country at home and abroad. Defend them day by day with your heavenly grace. Strengthen them in their trials and temptations. Give them courage to face the perils that surround them, and grant them a sense of your abiding presence wherever they are. We ask also that you would kindle in the hearts of all your people the love of peace, and guide with your wisdom the leaders of the nations, so that your kingdom will go forth in peace, and the earth will be filled with the knowledge of your love. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our MPT is joining us. Madam Clerk, could you let the records reflect that? Senator Bradford has not arrived, so I'm going to take the liberty of the chair to move up item number 32, election results. Could I have a report from staff, please?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I came a few minutes late. So did anyone remark about today being Pearl Harbor Day?
Yes, the pastor just did.
Thank you. I want to be sure that's mentioned.
Yes.
Mayor, I was going to have Michael George make the staff report, but I don't see him here. I think he's trying to help with some of the logistics. So let me just say that the county has now certified the election and indicated that Arlene Rojas is the top scorer for District 4, and Mila Rahman has also won her election for the city clerk, and it would be an opportunity now for the city council at its first regularly scheduled meeting after the announcement by the county to go ahead and do the certification.
Okay. That is, the recommendation is to waive further reading and adopt resolution number 21170, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, reciting the fact of the special municipal election held on November 2nd, the results for the contest for the members of the City Council, District Number 4, and City Clerk.
Second. Oh, I thought you said
Second.
That is a motion.
that is a
That's the
motion, right?
motion, yeah.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 At this time, I would like to conduct the swearing in for our council member-elect, Arlene Rojas. It will be done by our city clerk, Joy, and we'll meet you at the podium. Deputy, sorry, dear. I'm trying to elevate you.
Senior deputy, I believe.
Yes. Do we have a photographer here? Hi there.
Are we going to use a microphone for that? Because this is pretty exciting. You ladies have to share that microphone, I think. Unless you have the cordless available.
Staff,
Usually we do.
there should be a handheld microphone. Do we have a handheld microphone? Handheld microphone?
Sharon, it's usually sitting near you. It's not there, huh?
It's on its way. The handheld microphone is on its way.
Lula, you want us to all go down there? Oh, okay.
This is teamwork. That's what it's all about. Yes.
please raise your right hand, say I, state your name, and repeat after me.
I, Arlene Rojas, let me start over. Wow. All right, boy.
Testing, 1, 2.
Testing.
Please say I and state your name and repeat after me.
I, Arlene Rojas,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and
to
allegiance
the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duty
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Say I do.
I do.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Speech.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. That was beautiful. Thank you, Mayor Lula Davis Holmes. The only rose that'll ever shine brightly here. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Jim Deere and Jawan and Cedric. There you are, Cedric. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to the staff and all the employees here that are present. And I look forward to working with you as a team, working together. And let's do this. So thank you very much. Thank you. So are we going to do photos? Is that what we're going to do? Okay, here we go.
You want all of this in it?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Come on, guys.
The hour. Come on. Oh, without mask.
Please, come on, Sharon and staff and city clerk, where are you? Joy? City clerk? City treasurer? City clerk? You need to come up a little bit, sweetie pie.
Oh,
Let's get over just a little bit.
how's that? Good? Are you in? We're looking at that camera right there.
Thank you. You finished yours? Thank you.
Thank you
Then
very
Joe's got
much.
his first.
Congratulations. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
You're ready to get started.
Mila?
Certificate and a letter for her. Oh, she's sorry that she wasn't able to come to the swearing in.
Okay, so you know what? Will you be here at 7:30?
Yeah, well, so
I'm going to go into closed session. If he comes, we'll come back out. Thank you. Congratulations to our new councilwoman. We're going to hold off on the swearing in of our city clerk until Steve Bradford, our senator, arrives. We're going to go into Madam City Attorney closed session items.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4 because the city is considering whether to initiate litigation in one case. The council will meet pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9E1 because there's a significant exposure to litigation in 3 cases. The council will meet pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation in the matter of Camp Carson versus Carson Reclamation Authority, City of Carson and Successor Agency, matter number 20 STCV 16461. The council will lastly meet pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 to meet with Sharon Landers, City Manager, and Faye Mosley, Director of Human Resources, its negotiators regarding labor negotiations with AIM, CPSA affiliated with SEIU Local 721, AFSCME 1017, and AFSCME Local 809. That concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, are there any comments on closed session items?
None at this time, Mayor.
Okay. We're going to go into closed session. When the senator arrives, could you let us know, and then we'll come back out and swear in our city clerk. So we're going to go into closed session at this moment.
Yes.
No. Are we ready? Are we live? Oh, good afternoon again. We're gonna reconvene our open regular session, and we have our state senator here, Steve Bradford, to give us an update, a legislative update.
Madam Mayor, I just have to report out
On
of
that
closed
one
session
item?
very quickly.
Oh, okay.
The council met in closed session pursuant to on labor negotiations. They only took up one item, item number 5, and no reportable action was taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator. Senator Bradford.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council. It's truly an honor to be here, as it's been a tradition since I've been state senator and a member of the California legislature. I've always tried to come back to the communities in which I serve and provide a legislative update. For those who are unaware, our legislative session goes from January to September. Our year ended on September 10th. And then the governor had 30 days to sign all legislation that was on his desk. So our official legislative cycle ended on October 10th. And I'm just here today to provide you a update of what I've accomplished since this year started. First, I want to say it was an opportunity to join you and deal with this issue that you guys have been dealing with for the longest, and that's that odor in your community. So I know you guys have been working hard on that, so I commend you on all the hard work you do. Also want to commend the newly elected officials, Arlene Rojas, who has just been sworn in, so welcome to the council. It's going to be the hardest work, but the most rewarding work that we'll ever do. As I stated, I represent the 35th Senate District, and Carson's part of the district, and I'm just going to go quickly over some of the measures I passed this year. Under COVID, we were only allowed to introduce 12 bills for the last 2 years, only 12 bills. Of those 12, 8 got to the governor's desk, and I will quickly highlight the 7 that he signed, because he vetoed one of them. But nonetheless, it was a good year. First, starting with SB 2, better known as the Kenneth Frost Jr. Police Decertification Act. For those of you who are familiar, Kenneth Frost Jr. was a young African-American man who was shot and killed in 2018 by the Gardena Police Department by simply running away from the police. This bill allows us to decertify police officers, just as we can take the license away from a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, even remove elected officials. We can even remove barbers and the license from barbers and cosmetologists, but up until now, you couldn't do that in the state of California. Now California joins 46 other states that has a fair and transparent way of removing rogue officers. And why is this named after Kenneth Frost Jr.? Again, he's a young man who grew up in Gardena, and the day I heard of his killing, I immediately asked who shot him. And when they gave me the officer's name, I was totally unfamiliar with him, because all of you guys know I've grown up in Gardena for all my life. I was on the city council, and I've been on a first name basis with most of all those officers, and definitely the last 4 police chiefs. And once I learned who the officer was, he had recently transferred from the, Orange County, where he'd been involved in 3 questionable shootings there. And before this bill, you could be involved in some illegal activity, nefarious acts as a police officer. You could be investigated, and before the investigation is completed, or even after you're fired, you can transfer to another department. This bill will now end the wash, rinse, and repeat cycle that we've all experienced here in California and across the nation. So I think it's going to build public trust and make our communities safe for all of us, and create the relationship that we all want with our law enforcement in our community. So I'm happy that the governor saw importance in that he not only signed it, he came back to Gardena, to Raleigh Park, where Kenneth Frost Jr. was shot, and signed it right there and met with the family. So it's a good day for change here in California. Next is SB 796, better known as Bruce's Beach bill. You guys are probably familiar with that as well. It was a piece of property that Willa and Charles Bruce, an African-American couple, purchased in 1912 for $1,200 and created a bathhouse, a lodge, and a cafe. And from the day it opened until the day the city took the property away, it was a thriving success. It afforded African-Americans who were denied beach access and recreational opportunities anywhere else in California. It was only 2 places in the early 1900s that African-Americans could recreate at the beach. That was there at Bruce Beach and Manhattan Beach, and Well and Santa Monica. And even though they opened and were very successful, they were constantly harassed for 12 years by the KKK and other kind of racist activities, vandalizing the patrons' cars, setting the facility on fire on numerous occasions. And when that did not dissuade and deter Willa and Charles Bruce, the city took it upon themselves to use eminent domain to commit a crime and to take the property under the guise of building a park that wasn't built for 40 years. And they held on to the property for 20 years, fearful of a lawsuit. Then they transferred it to the state of California in 1948. The state held on it until 1995. At that point, we transferred to the county of Los Angeles, who's now in control of the property. And what my bill does is simply remove those restrictive covenants that were placed on the property and now allow the transfer to the back to the Bruce family, the 2 living heirs, their great-grandson, Anthony Bruce, and a great-grandson as well. So we're excited about that, and I have to commend both our supervisors, Supervisor Janice Hong, whose district was in, but also the fearless leadership of Supervisor Holly Mitchell as well, to help facilitate, as well as the 3 other members of the County of Los Angeles who voted unanimously to return the property. So we're in the process of the deed transfer right now. Real quick, SB 655, which is an insurance diversity bill, simply allows women-owned, minority-owned businesses, disabled veterans to contract and procure with insurance agencies and ask those insurance companies to provide an annual report of their diversity on their boards in corporate office. Also, utility workforce diversity. Again, we know we're dealing with wildfires, and we're seeing now many of the men and women who are out there doing the vegetation hardening and clearing are Conservation Corps workers and inmates. We're seeing once those inmates are free, consider hiring them. Those Corps members who come from usually urban communities, hire them as well, diversify your workforce, and make us all safer and help fight wildfires. Next is SB 26, which we call Fair Pay to Play Act 2.0. As you guys know, I came before you 2 years ago. I passed SB 206, which was the first in the nation to allow athletes to monetize their name, image, and likeness. Our bill wasn't set to go into effect till January 23. What we saw with the rest of the nation, 18 other states wanted to introduce, or had introduced similar bills, and we saw the NC2A was trying to get in front of what we had proposed here in the in the state of California. So we moved up our activation date. Our bill went into effect September this year, and it now also allows community college athletes to take advantage of this. And many folks say it's about men athletes, but who's benefited so far the most is women athletes, because we all know it's very little professional opportunities for women in sports, and this allows them to be treated just like any other college student. If you were a music major and you were on scholarship and you wrote a song, you can monetize that. If you were a computer science major and you developed an app, you can monetize that. But if you're a scholarship athlete, you couldn't sign your autograph, you couldn't teach the sport in which you played, so now it allows them to take advantage of it. Next, criminal administration.
Senator,
Yes.
you gonna go through all 12?
And I only have 7.
Oh, okay.
Governor only signed 7. I'm on the last one.
Okay, thanks.
I didn't know if I'm rushing through this. I'm speed reading and speed talking. So if you want me to stop now, I will right now.
You have one more, that's good.
I just have one more, criminal administrative fees, which is SB 586, which, as you know, many times folks go to court and they're assessed fees that they can't afford. Fees like court costs, failure to appear, and we're seeing this only adds to spiraling debt for individuals, so we remove those fees. And the last one, determining sentencing, so we can determine sentencing for individuals. And last, the budget, I was able to secure $140 million for the district, $60 million for Cal State Dominguez Hills right here in this community, $50 million for Charles Drew University Medical School, School of Medicine and Science, $10 million for Martin Luther King Hospital, $3 million for down in Wilmington for the Cheryl Green Community Center, for Boys and Girls Community Center, and another $6 million for Alta-C. So I'll stop right there.
And I have a request, now that I'm listening to all these millions, I need you to come back and say how much you've secured for Carson the next time out.
We just $60 million for the college, which is a staple here in the
City of Carson.
You got to put the request in. Got to put the
Okay,
request in.
yes.
I always like to comment on Steve's excellent success rate in Sacramento. Thank you for representing us so well. I want to particularly outline the Bruce Beach legislation. That was an injustice that needed government action, and you led the effort. I know other people supported it, but I want to compliment you, Steve. I've known you for decades, and this is one of the best things you've ever done. You've done a lot of great things, but Bruce's Beach issue was a terrible injustice on multiple levels, and this is a remedy that was appropriate. I wish more could be done. I'm sure you do too. But righting a wrong, even though it's years and years later, the fact that you did it is great. I compliment you. Now, I'm a school teacher, right? So on your legislative record, you get an A. But if you want an A+, you'll follow the mayor's advice. And you did $60 million for our community to the university directly, but I may take "but" out of that sentence. And we'd like you to consider some projects for next year in Carson. We would appreciate that.
It's all about the requests. We champion what has been asked of us. So the president asked for $20 million. We found him 60.
All right. Well, that's a lesson for us to learn.
And $1 million for the Dimely Center as well.
Very good. I was there when that was announced, so thank you very much for that. That's my home school. Does any of our colleagues have a comment?
I'll comment. Senator, great job in Sacramento. So you reiterated, put in the request. So city manager, you heard the mayor, make sure you put in the request. So we appreciate the hard work. When I was first introduced to Steve Bradford, it was some years ago, and was just tagging along, and what people were calling him, they were saying that he wasn't an empty suit. And I never knew what that meant until I got in office. So you're not an empty suit, and we appreciate the hard work that you do.
I appreciate that.
Councilwoman.
Yes, thank you, Senator Bradford.
Microphone has to be on. Yeah. The green light should be on. Yeah.
There we go. We're on. Thank you, Senator Bradford, for all your work in Sacramento as well. And I did want to comment as being someone involved in law enforcement. It's the changes that you make that is for the good of the people, and also it bridges the gap between the community and law enforcement. So everything that you've done is an improvement, and I thank you for your efforts. And let's keep it going. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Senator Steve Bradford. You said we got to ask, because all we got to do is ask. Be ready for a long list. I'll make sure I put some items on there that I know that we need to address. But again, you have never been an empty suit, and I've known you since Compton. So understanding that you have been the same then as you are now, a person of integrity that will do the job and get it done. And I want to say congratulations on the job well done.
Thank you. I just had more hair back then.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We had both of us had little afros.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we won't go there.
Thank you, Senator, for coming and joining us with that update. We look forward to having you, and I will request that you install our newly elected city clerk, Myla Rockman.
I look forward to that. Highlight of my evening. Do we have the oath of office?
Oh, did I?
But do you have
Is that the one I gave you?
Is there a Bible here?
Oh. Oh, that was somebody's Bible? Oh.
We'll go get it.
You left it in the back?
I gave it to her.
Joy? Do you have the readout of the, oh, for the senator? He'll need it. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
This one? Isn't that something?
Isn't it? Get out the way, the professional. Let the professional work. And George Castro too much to miss the picture.
Okay.
I mean, the Reverend didn't have a Bible on him. Didn't leave one without one.
Yes. Thank you. Left hand, right hand.
All right, you place your right hand on the Bible, and I'm honored to give the oath of office to a young lady that I've known far too many years, and you couldn't ask for a better individual, so we're going to execute the oath of office, and I need you to repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Mila Rahman,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of California,
the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of California.
the Constitution of the State of California.
I take these obligations freely
I take these obligations freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will will and well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
With the powers invested in me, you are now duly sworn in as our new city clerk for the city of Carson.
Time for speech.
To everyone that's here, to everyone that's watching, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's about the journey, the lessons learned on the journey, the blessings received on the journey, and everything else that is to come in the future. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to the senator. Thank you to the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, city council members, newly city council member. I appreciate you all, appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing Carson flourish. Thank you.
Now we just need a pen. We need a pen.
And on behalf of a grateful city, I want to welcome you to the city of Carson.
Cut the cake.
Our councilwoman will have her cake presented at the party. We don't want you to think
It's
we've
gonna be a
forgotten
party?
about you.
Where's
Now,
the
let's
party?
turn it around so we can see the.
And that is yours. It's official. That's yours as well. It's official. Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can somebody call 911? Is he okay? Is he fine, or he just fell? Yeah. No.
Sonny, after closed session, okay, after closed session.
Are we on the air still?
I
The
don't know,
city-
it doesn't say on,
It doesn't
there,
say on the
live
air.
on air, right there.
It's
Thumbs are up.
7:15. David, are we on the air? Yeah, we are. Oh, okay, we're live?
Yes,
Okay, we're gonna recess to closed session. We should be back in what, 30 minutes? 45. Okay, because we have an event that's scheduled at 7:15, okay? Thank you.
7:30?
Yeah, but we need to be walking that way by
Right, it takes a few
7:15.
minutes, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
we're going
in
into
recess?
close.
Councilman, can you come here a second, please? Get your copy. I think say new. Step.
Where's the mayor?
They won't turn it on until you.
Okay, thank you. We're reconvening our regular council meeting. Madam City Manager, you want to put out attorney. Closed session items, please.
The council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4 because the city is considering whether to initiate litigation in one case. There's reportable action on that. As a result of discussions with the county, there has been a reimbursement agreement that's been under discussion with the city. The council unanimously authorized the city to enter into that reimbursement agreement where the county reimburses the city for all of its cost associated with the relocation program. In addition, the county has now is now allowing city's technical staff members to be privy to technical meetings, and the county will be providing the city with information regarding water testing issues and other environmental data that the city has been asking for. On item number 3, council met in closed session with council pursuant to Government's Code Section 54956.9E1 because there's a significant exposure to litigation in 3 cases. No reportable action was taken. The council met pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 to confer with legal counsel in the matter of Camp Carson LLC versus Carson Reclamation Authority, City of Carson successor agency. Case number 20 STCV 16461. No reportable action was taken, and the council had already considered item number 5 earlier. That concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take the liberty to move up item number 30. Is it 31? It's a public hearing. No, I'm gonna get back to comments in a second. It's a public hearing to consider approving resolution number 21153 of the City of Carson, California, authorizing the application and adoption of the permanent local housing allocation plan for permanent local housing allocation program. Madam City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to ask Said Nasseh.
Well, just a second. Madam City Clerk, is there any public comment on this item?
There are no comments received, but I can do the report at this time, the clerk's report.
Please.
Okay. Notice of public hearing has been given pursuant to applicable law, including but not limited to proof of timely publication received by the city clerk. Posting requirements were met for individuals and organizations. The posting affidavits are on file in the city clerk's office, and no written communication was received. That concludes the city clerk's report.
Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to have our Community Development Director, Said Nasseh, make a brief presentation on this. It's related to adopting a permanent local housing allocation plan, and we're required to do it before the end of the year, so it is something that is required immediately. The council will have a chance to make any changes after the first of the year if we choose to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Manager. This program is built around a $75 recordation fee for.
Is the mic on?
For real estate. No.
It's not on.
He's not speaking into the mic. You have to move it forward. Yeah, directly in front of you. It's directional.
I feel like I'm staring at it. Okay.
It's staring back.
You're actually talking right into it.
All right. Thank you. All right. So this program is built around a $75 recordation fee for real estate transactions, and it was adopted by SB2 back in 2007. The bill basically provides for funding for affordable housing to both increase the affordable housing stock and also enhance it. And it's designed for low-income folks. The program through HCD requires local governments to adopt a 5-year plan, and that's why we're here tonight. The plan is supposed to basically say how much, what programs we're going to fund, and how much money we're going to designate for each program. For 2019 and 2020, we have already collected, or the state has already collected this fee, and we know exactly how much we're going to get. It's just about over $1 million. For years 21, 22, and 23, the estimate is that we'll get about $500,000 each year, for a total of about $2.5 million over 5 years. You have to make an application to HCD to qualify for this funding. The state provides some guidelines for us on which kind of activities are eligible for this funding. Basically, it includes pre-development, development, acquisition, construction, and rehabilitation of pretty much any kind of residential project, multifamily, single family, or even ADUs are included. It also, another category is assisting people who are about to become homeless or are homeless already. And the money could be spent on rapid housing, rental assistance, and other services, supported services for the homeless. Also, accessibility modifications are qualified under this program for lower income folks. And homeowner opportunities, including first-time home buyers, is eligible as well. Also, acquisition and rehab of foreclosed housing or apartments, or single families and apartments. Staff is proposing a very simple approach to divide the money into thirds for 3 programs: first-time homebuyer program, rehab and preservation of affordable ownership housing, similar to our MPP program funded by CDBG, and assisting persons that are about to or at risk of homelessness or are experiencing homelessness. The option tonight for council is just adopt staff's recommendations or make any changes that are consistent with the state guidelines. And future amendments are possible as well. HCD guidelines provide that up to 10% of the allocations for approved activities can be approved by staff administratively. The council can change that, obviously. And more substantial changes require council approval, community input, as well as HCD approval. That concludes my presentation, and these are the income levels for the program as set forth by HCD.
Okay, thank you, staff. Are there any questions from my colleagues on the City Council?
Madam Mayor?
Yes, MPG.
I think the staff did a very good job, a thorough job of looking at how this maintains the city's responsibility for affordable housing. And I believe, from what I've read, it looks like it fits into meeting the state requirements, so we're not in conflict. And so, that being the case, I will move that we waive further reading and adopt resolution number
MPT.
21. You didn't close the public hearing yet?
No, I have to open the public hearing and then close it.
I see. I thought you did staff report. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. There's no one want to address this item from the public. The public hearing is open. Madam City Clerk, Deputy Senior Clerk. There's no one.
Seeing none, Mayor.
The public hearing is closed. Now,
Okay,
MPT.
very good. Thank you. I move we waive further reading and adopt resolution number 21-153, authorizing filing the application and adoption of the permanent local housing allocation plan for the permanent local housing allocation program. and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents for the program, including the grant agreement as approved by form by the Carson City Attorney.
Second.
All in favor, cast your vote.
Madam Mayor, just for discussion,
Yes.
will it actually have in place the three options that the staff has presented us for the first-time homebuyers program? That was one of the options. He said it was option one, option two. So for the maker of the motion, I want to make sure that was part of the record.
Yes, I think that program is included from what I
Yes.
read.
It was,
Yes.
It's
that's a good
included at 1/3.
At one third, at
Yes,
33 and a third.
correct.
right.
Okay.
Madam Deputy Clerk, report the vote.
Motion approved unanimously.
Thank you. I am going to now go back to presentations. Item number 7 is a report on the Dominguez Channel odor. And just to give a little background, I'd like to thank everyone for listening and joining us in person at our city council meetings to hear an update on the Dominguez Channel. We have requested that the county continue to update the residents on the status of the Dominguez Channel at all of our city council meetings. The city's council's goal is to ensure that we have a clear understanding of the next steps that are needed to both address and prevent a repeat of the event that began on October 4th, when the community began to smell a noxious odor that smelled like rotten eggs.
Want this?
This odor was later to be determined hydrogen sulfide that was coming from the Dominguez Channel, a county flood control channel. The Los Angeles County quickly took responsibility for the mediation of the odor and cooperated with the city to protect and assist our residents and businesses. The city has instituted an independent analysis of the technical data so that we and our community can have an objective third-party review. But equally important, the city is thankful that our county supervisor and her staff has responded to getting our city staff a seat at the table in the technical meetings to discuss the restoration and remediation of the channel. The city is looking forward to a collaborative approach with the county to prevent this type of event from reoccurring in our community and to bring the channel to a healthy condition. Our two entities have already worked together in a number of important ways to start both the city and county in many ways. We both declared a public nuisance on October 11th. Local emergency proclamations have been adopted by both the city and the county. The city adopted its own on October 25th. The county followed suit a week later. Our two entities are working together to secure a declaration of emergency from Governor Newsom. This will help with the resources needed and cutting bureaucratic red tape to ensure a permanent solution happens more quickly. What we know today is that the county provided funding for our residents to relocate to neighboring hotels. The funding by the county is very much appreciated. If you were exposed to hydrogen sulfide for a period, the County Department of Health has reported that hydrogen sulfide does not accumulate in the body and that it does not have long-term health effects. And with the county's efforts, the smell has been diminished or has been non-existent in most areas in the city of Carson for about 2 weeks. The Apoleum application and the aeration of the water is breaking up the hydrogen sulfide, and it's not just masking it. If you do not smell hydrogen sulfide, it is not present in the air. With the hydrogen sulfide gone, except in spots close to the canal, the county prepared our residents to transition back to their homes and then ended the hotel program on November 26th. The county is continuing to provide air filters, air purifiers for a short time. The county and other government agencies continue to investigate the cause, including looking at bringing the canal to a healthy condition. Moving forward, we will continue updates on the next steps for the Dominguez Channel at our regular city council meetings, on the web, through social media, and using an alert notification system that sends updates through text messages known as Ready Carson. There are several ways to sign up for Ready Carson, but one easy way is to register by visiting readycarson.com. The city will work with the county to bring the channel to a healthy condition. The city council is united in its approach in dealing with the event, and we're speaking in a united voice. We have this evening with us Mr. Russ Brandon from the County Department of Public Health, who will give us a the latest update on the Dominguez channel.
And I just want to make one correction. It's Public Works.
Public Works, did I say Public Health? Okay. Public Health, how are you? Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you as well for having me. Mic check, is it okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Much better this
Welcome,
time.
Russ. Welcome again.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you being here.
Councilman Hilton, thanks for that assist. We ultimately went
For
with the
sure,
Bucks.
For sure.
Thank you, sir. Well, good evening, Madam Mayor, honorable council members. I am Russ Bryden from the county's Department of Public Works, and I'm pleased to be here tonight. I have some fantastic information that I'm excited to share with you and your residents. Thank you for this opportunity to provide you with this operational update on the Dominguez Channel incident. Before I start, I want to thank you and the city for your collaboration and trust over the past 2 months as we work to manage the impacts of this incident together. I also want to acknowledge our partner agencies, the County Departments of Public Health, Fire, the Office of Emergency Management, and then externally, the South Coast Air Quality Management District. Thank you to all of you. So I am very happy tonight to report that the source of the odor has been abated within Dominguez Channel. Since October 29th, air quality monitoring levels for hydrogen sulfide collected by South Coast AQMD have consistently measured at or near pre-incident levels. I think that's fantastic news. There is one exception. That's the monitoring station at 213th and Chico. That location has been measuring consistently 10 parts per billion for the last 3 weeks. Again, far below the state's air quality threshold for hydrogen sulfide. The odor neutralizer that the mayor referred to and the nanobubbler solution have proven highly effective at addressing the production of hydrogen sulfide gas within the channel. So in terms of water quality conditions, and this is your indicator that we've had success, they have dramatically improved over the last month. So indicators improved water quality data, increased oxygen concentrations, observations of healthy aquatic life. I'm talking about ducks and fish have returned to the channel as well. Yep, we've seen them as well. So dissolved oxygen, which has been our go-to measurement, have been above 0.5 milligrams per liter throughout the entire estuary, throughout all of Dominguez Channel, indicating that we have returned to aerobic conditions. So recall that it's anaerobic conditions that pull sulfur out of the seawater or from other sources and create that hydrogen sulfide. So we know now that the bacteria in the channel are consuming oxygen instead of sulfur, so they're no longer producing hydrogen sulfide gas. And I think this is just fantastic for us. Within the past week alone, dissolved oxygen concentrations have been consistently above 5 milligrams per liter, which is consistent with a healthy aquatic habitat. So fantastic news. Now, we're going to continue monitoring. We're going to monitor air and water quality as we work towards the long-term goal of recovery and returning the estuary to a healthy condition. So, in terms of assistance, the county's reimbursement and assistance program was central to our efforts to protect the public and its well-being during this incident. Some 3,354 households were temporarily relocated. That number includes 1,600 households placed directly in hotels by the city. All of relocated residents, as the mayor indicated, have returned by November 26th. And then Public Health and Fire have offered home visits to any households where residents reported that they were still experiencing symptoms. So in terms of those resources, fewer than 10 requests have been received since that November 26th deadline. Following public health instructions, all those site visits indicated lower than 5 parts per billion in the homes, and none resulted in relocation. So in terms of air purifiers, 35,500 portable air purifier units provided at no direct cost to the residents. So 35,500 portable filters were given. 12,000 calls were made to Public Works and Public Health call centers. We met in person with over 4,000 visitors to our community assistance centers in Carson and Wilmington, and more than 14,200 direct home and business visits were made by Public Health. So the assistance center right here at Carson Community Center was closed on Friday, December 3rd. And I want to extend my thanks to the city for allowing us to use your facilities to help with our constituents. The county's reimbursement and assistance program will end on December 10th, and we're asking residents to provide their reimbursement requests by December 16th. It's currently taking approximately 3 to 5 weeks for residents to receive their reimbursement. And it's really important that those submitting these reimbursements, that they make sure that their forms are complete when they send it to us. That really helps us expedite the process. We want to make sure that everyone is able to get their reimbursement in time for the holiday season. If you have questions about how to do that, I'll share some numbers at the end. If you're uncertain, we want to make sure you get it right the first time. So the county does need your help in getting word out to Carson residents. There are currently 4,000 households that were approved for our assistance program but haven't submitted receipts yet. We want to make sure each one of them has an opportunity to submit their claims or to submit their requests for reimbursement and to receive those refunds. If residents are looking to be reimbursed by the county, they must submit their receipts by December 16th. So it's coming up fast. The deadline is December 16th at 11:59 p.m. Now they can do that by responding to the email that the county sent them when they were first approved for the program, or, as I mentioned, for those that need help with submitting receipts or who still need an air purifier, the Victoria Community Regional Park is going to remain open through December 10th at 7 p.m. And of course, anyone that has questions or is looking for additional resources, needs help understanding how to fill out their reimbursement, they're invited to call 211, the helpline, to receive assistance. So, in terms of recovery, and this is good news, I think, we're doing well with the aquatic habitat within Dominguez Channel. The watershed is healing. It's a collaborative process that will involve agencies. The long-term improvement, long-term restoration is going to be a collaborative process that will involve agencies at the local level, at the federal level, at the state level, basically all of us working together hand in hand in order to develop a robust and equitable community engagement process and the development of that solution. The next step in that process is to cover the area affected with a sediment amendment. Basically, it means that the sediments in there, one of the possible sources, feeding sources of the bacteria, will essentially cap it with activated carbon or another material to make sure that doesn't have any access to the seawater for a possible source of fuel. So putting that temporary cap over the organic material that's left within the channel really should eliminate any future potential for this incident to repeat. So in terms of contracts, the county knows that communication is fundamental to a successful partnership. We intend to maintain the open channels of communication that we developed through this process. And again, I thank you at the city for your participation or for your partnership in this. There have been some changes at the county. We're bringing on additional members to our team going forward. And I'd like them to stand. I'd like to introduce them. So Mariam Adami is a senior civil engineer with our community services group. She's the lead on long-term restoration efforts, and she'll be reporting to you in the future on behalf of the county on a regular basis. City staff should be familiar with her. She's our center liaison for issues that affect both of us. She's our city services rep. Not with us tonight is Bob Scharf. Bob Scharf is replacing me as the incident commander. He is the area engineer, basically the head person for the flood control district in terms of maintenance for Dominguez Channel and largely everything south of the 110 freeway. He'll be reporting to you on channel maintenance and its operation. It's been my privilege to come to your meetings. It hasn't always been easy, but I very much respect your commitment to your residents. Respect you fighting for your residents, and I think we've had some good dialogue. Us working together has led to positive outcomes for all of our constituents, and I truly thank you for that. It's been a privilege for me to be able to do this. And with that completes my report. If you have questions, I can answer very basic ones. Otherwise, I'll return them to our communications center and get you answers.
Yes,
Councilman Hilton first, and then Mayor Pro Tem.
thanks again, Russ.
Yes, sir.
I would that you guys would consider, being that the issue was so long, I would that you guys would consider extending the time for people who may have to gather receipts.
Yeah.
I don't know who that needs to go by, but we're in the middle of a holiday. Mm-hmm. Some people do want immediate response, so they're immediately on it, but some people may not have access to scanners, stuff to upload their documents. So I would that you all would see if there was some way that we could extend the time. They've been in this situation for well over 50 days, and I think some people will need a time extension. Some people aren't familiar with the forms of filling them out. Some people who when the city stepped in partnership with the county and they were putting people in hotels, some of the records you might not have. So some people are calling and saying, hey, the county doesn't even have me on the list, but I've been staying in a hotel for the last month. So we want to make sure everything is mitigated because some people didn't get those emails that you all sent out. So it is my hope that those things would happen.
Yeah, understood. I think those are excellent points, and I'll absolutely take that back.
Thank you. And we appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Russ, for coming out tonight. It's very much appreciated. You mentioned there's someone going to take over as incident commander. And
yes, sir.
You said south of the 110. You meant east of the 110.
Sure. Separate from. Oh, excuse me.
Sure. No. So the reason I asked that question is that I think what we're interested in is, of course, the long-term revitalization of a healthy habitat, starting with. I would think at least as far north as the Gardena Willows, which is a wetlands that's being restored. It's in the process. I'm sure the county's aware of it, right? It's mostly in the city of Gardena, but it's also in the city of Los Angeles. And so the city of Gardena, city of Los Angeles, then the city of Carson, and then, of course, enters the city of Los Angeles again before it empties into the ocean. So I'm hoping that the project, we can work together, the county, the city, and any other entities, environmental groups maybe, can seek funding from federal sources, state sources, foundations, and so forth to make this a major project to make a healthy habitat. So I would encourage the county to approach it from the direction of at least starting with the Gardena Willows, if not further north. I know further north it's a concrete bottom and not a soft bottom, except for the Gardena Willows itself, and make it a complete project from national freshwater marshland, which is the Willows, to the ocean. Which is in Wilmington. So that's what I would encourage the project. And I would like to do what I can to help make that happen as well, as far as securing funds or getting attention from the right people, or whatever you think. I think the city and county will make very good partners in cooperating to make a healthy habitat.
Yeah, and I've seen that the city has excellent relationship as well with our elected officials at the state assembly and the state senate. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Russ, for that report. I concur with my colleague. Wanted to did the extension for individuals turning in the paperwork, hopefully to the first of the year.
Okay.
And in addition to that, there are still some residents that are still complaining of some odors in certain areas of the city. There's still pockets. So how are we going to address those that are still having some concerns along that channel? Because I actually have smelt it myself in certain areas along that channel. And I know you're at the corner of Chico and 213th, which is in District 3. And I know that there are some residents in that area that are still having some concerns that need to be addressed. So what can the county do to assure that those residents are still being adhered to, because there's still some concerns from those residents?
Yeah, I understand exactly your point. I think the best thing you could do is to call 211 to report that you're experiencing the smell. What we can do is dispatch teams immediately. What I can tell you is that the SU area itself doesn't appear to be producing hydrogen sulfide at all, which is fantastic. So it's probably a lingering pocket. I would hope that with today's rain, that there was some pocket that was just hanging around, that rain has gotten it out, or it's knocked it down. I would hope as well that there's more rain projected for Thursday, and then again, I think Monday and Tuesday of next week, that should handle it. But if anyone is experiencing that, I encourage them to dial 211. That's the county's information line, so that they can relay that information to us.
So the 211 line will still be usable after the December 10th date that you stated?
Yep.
And that there's someone that will be manning the 211 line to actually facilitate services for the residents?
Yeah, the 211 line is the county's information line. It's been in place for, oh gosh, I hesitate to even say, I would guess decades.
It has. I have a couple of your operators are relatives of mine, so I know that they was there. But my concern is when I called 211, the operators didn't seem to know exactly what to do. So I'm just concerned in regards to that, and they wanted you to come back to them later, or they take your number and information down. So I just hope that has been corrected as well.
So at the council's suggestion, I personally called the 211 line to check out the level of customer service.
That's a good idea to do that.
Well,
how'd it go?
It actually was a good experience. I felt that they understood what they were communicating, how to best help residents. And it was a proper exchange, I believe. That's been my experience with them. And if you're not, I encourage you to share that with us so that we can make sure that's corrected. So my recommendation would be 211. You're also welcome to call the AQMD smog line. That's another way to report that. But I'm very hopeful that whatever was lingering was knocked out by the recent rain. And if there's anything lingering after that, the next couple storms will eliminate that. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
We've been pushing to folks to, let me talk to you afterwards. I'm not sure I'm able to do that right now.
Madam. What time?
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, are you going to do oral communications?
Yes, I
over there?
am. As soon
Okay,
as, thank you, Russ.
I would
wanna-
like to announce that I have now served my colleagues with a notice of an order for a special meeting on Thursday, December 9th, 2021, here in the Helen Kawagoe Council Chambers,
At what time?
5 o'clock p.m.
Okay. Can we add to this item, the truck, item number 24? Yeah, you want to pull? Tree trimming. Okay. Let's add another item to this, if it's okay with the tree trimming, so we don't have to wait. Okay, now we'll have oral communications, and from anyone that want to speak on an item on the agenda. You'll have 2 minutes to speak.
Point of information in regards to the time limit as to why it's being reduced to 2 minutes, considering there's not an excessive amount of people who wish to speak on oral communications.
How many
And
people want to speak?
I'm in the middle of serving my point of information. Madam Chair, you didn't allow me to finish it, so let me restart it. Calling a point of information, clarification in regards to why the time is being reduced to 2 minutes, considering that there isn't an excessive amount of individuals who wish to speak. The meeting is supposed to end by 11. I heard you guys mention a remark about bouncing out of here by 7:30. That's not grounds to reduce oral communications. So the city attorney can probably offer guidance in regards to the Brown Act at reducing oral communications when there isn't an excessive amount of people who wish to participate. And I asked to be given my full 3 minutes.
We're at 2 minutes right now, and let me see where you are, and we may extend it. It's no violation of the Brown Act.
No, I called a point of information. That's why I asked for clarification as to why to reduce oral communications, considering the reduction of the time doesn't have to do anything with the ability of cutting off the amount of speakers. I am one person.
Okay, you can have 3 minutes.
But
I
that's
put
nice of you, but just for the record, so the record's clear, the presiding officer has full discretion regarding the amount of time, but you've provided 3 minutes, so that's fine.
Start.
Good evening. My name is Anna Manning. I'm a lifelong Carson resident. I'm here to speak on items 730 and 32. Just to let you know, as regards to the Assistance for Reimbursement Program, there's a clarification. December 10th is a deadline to actually start the application. You're not allowed to continue with the application. The 12/16 is to upload the documentation. The problem why so many residents are not able to participate because the City of Carson nor the county provided the proper website link for people to start the application process. It's a different process if you're placed in the hotel by the City of Carson. The 522 link on this county's website is for county placement. The City Council, people placed by the City of Carson, is 527 link, and it's not available online. So with that being said, there's different issues regarding the reimbursement program. Also, too, as to why is the city not pursuing and advocating for the residents? The per diem is $66 that the county is putting. I'm surprised the Director of Finance didn't identify it should be $74 per person per day. The city hasn't been actually looking at it, discussing it. So I went to our Assemblyman, Mike Gibson. He's looking into it, but I need to bring that to your attention. They're shortchanging us. Also, too, there's definitely lack of outreach to the information regarding those who are placed in the hotel. They don't even know that they can put in for per diem, and that's separate from the hotel reimbursement. Wanted to bring that to your attention. Also, too, residents have asked for financial assistance with electricity and also with vet bills because the City of Carson has not expanded their assistance program in regards to this, and they're asking for that because they did, as the city and the county asked, which is run your ACs 24/7, run your air purifiers 24/7 with no assistance. And also, too, the environmental AQMD reading, it was actually over 13,000, so ppb. So please stop saying it's 7,000. And no mention of a notice of violation that AQMD served. It's not even recognized on the agenda. And also, too, I'm disheartened and disgusted with how our city management has been handling everything. And it just dawned on me, is it because they're more focused on this article that came out by two urban girls about corruption continues in Carson, where the current director of HR had an embezzlement issue where her and her husband were embezzling over $100,000 from a nonprofit. Are you guys too busy focusing, is management too busy focusing on that, dealing with embezzlement issues versus assisting us as a community? We need you guys to be our advocates, and we're not getting that. And it bothers me, is the fact that the city has known about this for quite some time, yet she's still in the payroll and still working here. So is that why our city management team is not focusing on assisting us as residents? Because not one of the city management team brought up to the city council that the city residents were being shortchanged with the per diem. That's their job. They should have reported it to you guys so that you guys could have advocated for that. But I not once heard it. There's no mention today of the AQMD report of the notice of violations that have been served. You know, that's bothersome. It's not on the agenda. What is
Speak. Okay, well, we're going to pull, is Mayor call for approval of the consent calendar with the exception of item number 24. We're going to add to the special meeting. Councilman Deere, do you have, Mayor Pro Tem Deere, you have an item you want to pull and add to that agenda?
Sure, I will pull item number, you said 24?
Yeah, 24 is being pulled.
It's pulled off?
Yes.
That's the only one I'll pull.
Okay, I'd like to approve for removal of the consent calendar.
Second. A second.
All in favor, let's cast our vote.
Mayor, I just wanted to mention that there was one item that had an updated staff report and resolutions.
I'm sorry, that staff report came today. That, I believe that.
It had the insurance added on.
You know, it doesn't, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Okay.
It was that the Joint Power Authority that we're getting the insurance from had asked us to make some change in their resolution.
I see.
To make a clarification. It doesn't change the
It's just-
substance.
yeah,
Okay. I entertain a motion. Did we second that?
Second.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor, let's cast our vote.
Aye.
The consent.
want to vote?
Yeah,
by-
we'll vote.
Okay.
The consent calendar has been approved unanimously with the exception of item number 24, which will be added to the special meeting without objection.
Madam Mayor,
That's okay? Yes.
Okay, yes.
item number 8. Can we do item 8? It's the approval of the minutes.
Oh, let's call for approval of the minutes. I skipped over that one.
Second.
So we did the consent calendar approval of the minutes from April 8th,
Second.
2021.
You making a
I
motion?
make the motion. Move the
I'll
minutes.
second. Council.
Cast your vote. Councilwoman Rojas, she's abstaining on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the entire calendar has been approved, and we will be meeting on the 5th, a special meeting on the 9th at 5 o'clock to discuss items that are listed on this special call for a meeting. In addition to that, we're adding a number 24. Okay? Memorial adjournments, are there any?
Before I call the names for the memorial adjournments, we'd like to offer our prayers and condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones in memory of the following: Josephine Johnson, Marjo Sippen Alegre, and Elisa McGee. Unless there's more that the mayor and council or staff would like to add.
I would like to add Mary Winston, owner of House of Winston, and helped incorporate the city of Carson in her living room. Mary Winston.
Any more memorial adjournments? With that, we're going to say happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. We will not be having a meeting. Oh, you have some comments? I'm sorry, Kim. Non-agenda? Come down real quick.
There's 2 people. Oh, 2, there's 4 people.
You have 2 minutes each.
I can do one.
You can do one. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, Kim Cortado, Park and Rec Commission. Upcoming event this Saturday, Winterfest at the Community Center from 3 to 7. If you could please go on ActiveNet to register.
The 19th.
Also,
18th,
the tree lighting that was on December 1st. Staff did an excellent job as always putting that together. And we are taking registrations for the basketball season on ActiveNet. So log on and create an account for ActiveNet. Other than that, thank you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and good night.
Good night. Who's next?
Hi there, my name is William Coons. I'm here to speak on the Dominguez Channel future, which is not kind of on the agenda. So I would like to see us do something more than just, and I hope they're going to plan now to dredge out or clean out and renew the channel. What I'd like to see us do is, now the channel is really an estuary. It forms a connection between fresh water and salt water. And that's what an estuary, or what we call an ecotone, E-C-O-T-O-N-E if you want to look it up. To be a balanced ecotone, it will actually attract more fish, more birds, and have a lot of benefits of both the saltwater environment and the freshwater environment. These benefits include stuff like marshlands is a typical example. Marshland at the delta of the Mississippi or in the Sacramento Bay Delta. It's a transition between, and with climate change, we got to look at that also. Climate change may make the channel back the way it is in 2 years. Who knows? 3 years. So what I'd like to see us do is try to work out a solution that will make this a climate that will exist forever. With the climate change and the rise in the sea level, let's figure out what to do with this area to make it a true estuary, or what I call an ecotone, and this should be worked on and proposed by the city, if not the county. The county's probably not going to even, maybe they won't even consider it. But and there are benefits of this. For instance, the LA River in Glendale, hooked up there. They've made a canoeing area out of the LA River. Now you can't fish, you can't swim, but you can canoe.
Thank you.
pretty polluted. So let's do something like that.
Thank you.
I hope I can finish it in 2 minutes. If I need extension, give me my 3. Anyway, hi. Okay, hi. I'm Paz Velasquez, and I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk today. I'm a resident of the city of Carson for 41 years. I am founder and the request for the City of Carson creation of the Community Civic Engagement Board and Commission, which right now I am continually praying and wishing that it be reinstated. I am in red. Not only it is the color of December, it is an expression there is a significant celebration, which is today. It's the installation from our Filipino-American family, Councilwoman Arlene Bocatija Rojas, representing my District 4. Congratulations, my dear friend Arlene. I am here to please unanimously approve Resolution 21-176, recognizing December 30 as Dr. Jose Rizal, a national holiday in the Philippines, as a National Heroes Day. As France gave the Statue of Liberty as a gift to America, the Philippines gave to America this September 28, 2012, 9 years ago, is the statue of Dr. Jose Rizal, which we thank the City of Carson and this council, now housed in the City of Carson International Sculpture Garden. As Filipino American, thank you for giving us the opportunity to express our gratitude to the Americans, especially to our beloved hometown, Carson, California. Our gifts? Why Jose Rizal? Why not one of those other Philippine icon, Nipa Huts or Carabao? Dr. Jose Rizal is one of the best representation of who we are as a people, that Filipinos are good and peaceful people. And to my fellow Filipino Americans, it is a charge with our bayanihan spirit to be a bayani in our bayan. I have to get it. So bayani. So in behalf of a grateful Filipino American community, your passing of the resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please approve it today so I can.
It was approved.
It's been a part of the consent calendar.
Yeah, it's on the consent calendar. It was approved.
It was approved already under the consent calendar.
Oh, then thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Walong Anaman.
Are there any more oral communications for non-agendized items? Hearing none, this meeting will adjourn, and we will be back for a special meeting. What date is it? Thursday the 9th at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Good night and happy holidays, everyone.